Being goth was still niche and not as acceptable or mainstream when Victorious was airing, but the gothic character still managed to steal everyone's heart. Not only did everyone have a crush on Jade, but she's also the most iconic from the cast. Jade West is arguably the best character from the entire show. Jade was the outcast, but her boyfriend was considered the most handsome guy at school. It was nice seeing the writers didn't make her some sort of weirdo just because she was goth and a little violent. Jade initially was too much of a mean girl. An example is in the pilot where she dumped coffee on Tori. It was smart to have the character stop being too mean, and it was done in a good way because it didn't nerf the character at all. If anything, it actually made the character better. If the writers kept her the way she was in the pilot, then Jade would have just been looked at as a bully and not iconic. Jade had interesting lore, so it sucks that we never got to see more of it. Only in one episode we find out more about Jade's personal life. We see that her dad doesn't take talents and the arts serious, so because of this, Jade really wants to impress him and also wants his approval. This was actually a good storyline because this is probably something most of the students at Hollywood Arts struggle with. Some great scenes came from when Jade and Tori were together, but their rivalry is even greater. The bickering and banter between the two was always funny and entertaining. I don't want to say there was sexual tension, since this is a kid's show at the end of the day, so let's call it relationship tension. In another universe, these two girls would have been together. It must have been hard not to fall for Jade. Andre himself started falling for her after hearing her sing.
There is no upper hand, I'm giving you mine. It doesn't have to end up wasting your time. There's things that I could say.
You can't really blame Andre for liking his best friend's girl. They were working late night, and Andre was stressed and not in his right mind. In this episode, we also saw Tori wearing Jade's look, and honestly, it makes Tori look 10 times better. Jade being the best character doesn't mean Tori wasn't a great lead. Tori is a strong main character, but Jade manages to be more iconic. Kat was great, but after season 1, she became too dumb, and Beck comes off too pretentious. He's an actor, but he looks like someone who thinks acting is harder than being an engineer. There's no complaints about Andre, but he just wasn't more iconic than Jade. Jade is better than the rest of her castmates, and that also includes Trina. Although Beck and Jade were a cute couple, they weren't really a great example of a good and healthy relationship. They were really toxic, and Beck sometimes was scared of what Jade could do. A lot of kids probably watched this show before being in their first relationship, so maybe they thought their relationship had to be like Beck and Jade, since that's what they were seeing on TV. Beck and Jade didn't have to be a cookie-cutter couple like Corey and Topanga from Boy Meets World, but they also shouldn't have been too toxic since kids are watching. The only complaint I've seen about Jade isn't specifically about the character, but more about Elizabeth Gillies, who plays Jade. Elizabeth Gillies is married to Michael Corcoran, who worked on Victorious as a co-writer of songs that the cast would perform on the show. Michael Corcoran was already an adult when he first met Elizabeth Gillies, so a lot of people think Jade got groomed by this man. It is weird that you meet someone when she's young and you're an adult, then later you guys get married, but I don't want to speak on anyone's relationship. I just brought it up because it's the only complaint I've seen surrounding the Jade character. It's more of a complaint about Elizabeth Gillies, but Jade is involved because Liz played the Jade character when she met this guy. Putting all of that aside, let's get back to talking about Jade being the best Victorious character. The ranking is not about who's the cutest because that's mean to rank people by their looks. Jade was the best because of the substance she has, her clothing style, and even her attitude. The character also broke the mold and changed the way people think of goth characters, especially in kids' television.